Well, I guess I could start this off by saying that I really don't know enough about the DSM to be a qualified commentator on it. But just from my initial impressions and what I've seen in the last couple of years of doing some volunteer work and practicum work with agencies and therapists, I think that one of the benefits of it and why it can be a really good tool um, in therapy is it's so thorough. It really takes each possible area and lists symptoms for it and gives the duration of the symptoms in order for it to be a diagnosis. And I guess that's my take on it. It's just absolutely thorough. Um, one a criticism that I could come up with for it, again, not being familiar enough to really be a critic, but I think that from what I've seen is, for billing purposes, therapists will use the DSM-5 to come up with diagnoses for their clients in order to be able to bill. And I can understand why that has to happen. But I think that sometimes they can maybe prejudge, not use enough information to make a diagnosis, and then when they diagnose a client, put it in their records, that sort of kind of puts that client into that box of that diagnosis. It's kind of like labeling them. So let's say I give a diagnosis of bipolar disorder. Right off the bat, you know, that person kind of becomes bipolar. And there might be a lot of other different things playing into their makeup that need to be addressed. But as they continue on down the line through therapy, or maybe they go to another agency and that diagnosis follows them, the next clinician dealing with them looks at their records and go, "Oh, this person's bipolar," and they're just, So I guess what I'm saying is, it is extremely thorough, but in being so thorough, it needs to be learned by the clinicians and really used professionally. And I think that sometimes it can be used, kind of like fast and loose. So that's all I got this morning.